responses and your thoughts. And now, away from that, as mobile smartphone penetration in Kenya and Africa expands, mobile phone manufacturers are building devices that catch the eye to maintain consumer loyalty to brands. And today's mobile phone consumers look out for quality and affordability before purchasing smartphones. Technology companies are now trendsetters and are building technologies that drive demand and supply in the markets. Now, this is one of the stories that we did in 2016 that is going to form part of the conversation on mobile technology trends with my guest, Marco Bar, in studio. With mobile-enabled services on the rise in Kenya, demand for smartphones has risen, with Kenya now ranking third in Africa among the top countries with most smartphone penetration. A recent report by global technology consulting firm International Data Corporation put the number of smartphone shipments at 155 million units at the end of 2015 in the Middle East and Africa. One of the more recent entrants into this market is Tecno brand. From the beginning, the brand has focused on the lower affordable end of the market, and this focus has enabled it fast ascend to the top 3 brands in Africa. In the smartphone world, Tecno is regarded as the #1 disruptive brand in the market, giving Samsung and Apple, which are the most popular brands, a run for their money. Being only 10 years old in the market, Tecno is now looking into growing its market share in the Middle East. Reason: the global launch for the latest series Phantom 6 and 6 Plus took place in Dubai.
So it only depends on that what is your market, and based on the market, what segment really you want to create.
With a growing number of applications being developed for both Android and iOS, consumers are spoiled for choice on smartphone functionality. Today's consumers, most of them millennials, are looking for affordability, quality, speed, but also flexibility on device performance. Low-cost smartphones and affordable mobile brand packages are bringing more and more people online in Africa, opening up a new market for m-commerce, mobile marketing and apps.
See that the way Tecno Mobile has been pricing, because we have been more focusing on Africa business, and so I think when you talk about business in Africa, same time you need to deliver which will really match the GDP per capita, the average monthly income of the consumer. Otherwise, if you just talk and that, okay, I care about Africa, then the phone price is $800. It will not make sense. So for us, is still, I think, to reach more customers, to satisfy more users, it always comes, I think, at the first hand.
With a market share of 20% in over 20 African countries, to act as a springboard, the Middle East is now the next frontier for mobile device manufacturers like Tecno, with a continued focus on the business consumer and youthful population. Joy Doreen Bira, KTN News. All right, and that is on mobile technologies, but mobile technologies are only an overriding factor when it comes to technology. And like I've always said before, technology, they say, is now the 5th factor of production, and it is driving all kinds of trends and opportunities around the world. And even when you look at social media, that is bigger than it has ever been before. You can see that there's so many business opportunities that have been created on these platforms. But helping us now to understand these digital trends in the country today, we're joined by Marco Bar from the Standard Digital here at Standard Media Group. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
A lot has happened. I see your phone is it the latest gadget so far?
I'm not quite sure, but probably it's one of the latest.
It's one of the latest. All right. So, technology has actually been driving a lot of things, including demand and supply of different factors in the world, not just in Kenya.
Yeah.
And social media has played a big role. It's one of the most successful, I should say. If you look at the sellouts for this year, you can see that LinkedIn was bought out by Microsoft, and they're looking to upgrade and, give it a whole new look altogether. When you look at Twitter, Twitter has made, I think, the biggest revenues. Facebook has made almost tripled its profits in the last quarter. So you can almost see that social media technology has actually been going up and up and up. But how would you evaluate the use of these platforms in Kenya?
Now, as you've said, technology is driving the economy of the world today, not just in Kenya, but worldwide. But one thing that you also need to understand, especially when it comes to social media, is the social factor in the technology which we are using. For example, if you have mobile phones, then the necessity creates the social factor within which people have to, it creates some sort of demand and supply within that spectrum. And therefore, social media becomes very much important because people can relate so easily. And so it almost becomes a daily necessity in anyone's life, especially for those people who are used to it.
It's sort of like the new customer care.
Yeah, exactly. It's the new customer care anywhere else in the world. If you look at the way major industries in Kenya operate today, they cannot ignore social media. Initially, people thought that social media was probably a lazy thing that probably was meant for high school or university students. But today, major organizations in Kenya like Safaricom use Twitter. In fact, you will find that their GSM system is so busy, but if you engage them on Twitter any moment, they will reply and sort out your case so easily. That is where it has reached. But now, if you look at it also in the aspect of monetary gains, then it's also big, because today we also have people who have just formed companies to ensure that they relate with other members of the public on behalf of certain companies on social media to create some sort of digital public relation, which is a new thing in Kenya, but it's slowly gaining traction among the major players in the industry today.
All right. So we've seen other technologies like the e-hailing taxi services that have come up as well, and that is on the mobile application side that is complemented by smartphones per se. And we are seeing the increased use of these applications for different services. Some of them are health applications, some of them are e-hailing taxi services like Uber and little cabs, you know, that we have seen being innovated or invented in the country today. But then again, would you actually say 2016 has given us an idea of what the future is going to look like, technologically speaking?
I'll give you statistics. First of all, in 2015, it's estimated that we had a total of 37.7 million mobile phones. In the world today, we have more mobile phones than human beings. Now, in 2016 today, we have probably more than 40 million mobile phones. And the intake, if you look at the coefficients of that matrix, is quite big, because the intakes, probably we are importing like 20,000 mobile phones on a weekly basis in Kenya, or in consumption per se. That statistic might not be very accurate, but that is what researchers say. I wasn't involved in it. But the fact is that if you look at the uptake of mobile phones, and we probably estimate that we have like 20 million smartphones in the country, that is a huge market. Now you look at it in terms of the capability of smartphones in the country. Applications, a device that can hold applications, that can easily relate to people. Just some few minutes ago, you were discussing on how market trends would be on somebody selling a cake.
Yes, small, medium businesses.
Small, medium businesses. And today, most of these small, medium businesses, like the taxi industry, like the cake industry, or whatever, the bakery industry, some of these people are developing mobile applications that would help them relate to the members of the public or customers easily, in such a way that you simply download that application, make your orders comfortably, and the order will reach you wherever you are, and you can make your payments on the mobile phones.
Within no
so it
time.
comes with convenience, it comes with the ease to use, the simplicity. It also comes with the ability to multitask, to help you do a couple of things. And therefore, mobile economy is growing big, especially in Kenya. When we consider Africa, in Kenya, in Egypt, in South Africa, in Nigeria, and probably in Ghana is also doing much better. So if you look at in terms of why has this growth been this way, then you have to also look at it in terms of the policies that have been there.
And the demographics too.
And the demographics too, which plays a major role in the mobile phone economy in the country.
All right. Let's now, you know, we've talked about the slightly easy stuff. Let's get into the more complex things. The technology is coming with, you know, we've seen the IFMIS system that the government did use to integrate the processes of making payments or government payments and transactions much more easier through this IFMIS system. But then again, it has had its own downfalls. It has actually had demons that it has carried into 2016, and maybe we're likely going to see it carry into 2017 as well. Then the downside of technology, the fact that it can be manipulated because it's man-made. And considering we are heading into an election year where we are hoping to use the same technology, not exactly the same as IFMIS technology, but we are going to use technology for elections. Do you think that we need to be more cautious on to what extent we are going to use technology in 2017?
Now, you've mentioned a couple of things which are quite a number, but we'll go through them step by step. For example, when we talk about IFMIS, this is a public finance management system. Now, there are several public management systems, finance management systems across the world, but Kenya settled on IFMIS. Now, one thing that people need to understand is that the integrity of IFMIS is quite important for, especially when it comes to the management issues of any country. Now, IFMIS has been recommended by a number of organizations in the world. That is one thing that people need to understand. It's not just like any other kind of management system anywhere. Because World Bank is involved, USAID is involved, IMF is involved in it. So these organizations have recommended the use of IFMIS because, one, most of the countries that are coming out of either serious catastrophe like war or famine or anything, today they need to manage their resources in the system or the spectrum of the 21st century. And that demands that financial management must be done prudently in an amicable way. Now, IFMIS is just the translation of whatever used to happen, the normal budgetary system that we used to have, the casual one where you would think about something, do a proposal, after doing a proposal, do budget allocations and all that.
So let's look at the future of 2017 very briefly because we have about a minute. What do you think we should be cautious about, considering it's an election year, technologically?
Technologically, first of all, we need to consider what can work and what can't work. In this year, especially for Kenya, it's very much important. Technology is going to play a key role in the 2017 election. And already we have issues. It's difficult to talk about some of these issues without being political or in any way. But what I would consider is the fact that, what I would tell people is the fact that we have technological solutions on every other issue. For example, people talk about transmissions and lack of network in some certain areas. What I would want to assure Kenyans is that there is a technological solution, especially where network is. First of all, if a supplier is not able to adequately cover the entire country, then it's possible for us to get another supplier that will cover the entire country with the network, and that could be synthetic aperture radar systems on probably satellite systems that would ensure that we have real-time monitoring of whatever is going on across the country, and at the same time being able to relay the same results technologically from one area to another. So there is a solution, a technological solution to every problem that we have currently. It's 21st century.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. And we are going to continue the conversation on technology for elections, I guess, starting January, because I guess we are nearing the election date, which is going to be on the 8th of August, 2017. So we asked you what's on your wish list for the economy, the Kenyan economy in 2017. And let's take a look at what you have to say over here. We're having Lyrical Africa, who is saying, I think the focus should be on entrepreneurship. Massive opportunities lie on online platforms. And we're also having one coming through here from Imai David, who is saying a change in government. Well, all right. Ronnie Karani is saying affordable cost of living benefits every age group and everyone in the country. That's a paramount wish. And that is some of the feedback that is coming through. But let's look at the percentages. So 57% of you say you want a more affordable cost of living, and 31% of you say job creation. 10% of you are saying increased wages, and 2% of you are not sure what exactly you want. So, Mark, I thought, not exactly technologically speaking, we need to wind up your year 2016 with a taste of cake, you know, and Alice over here actually managed to get one for us. I don't know if our cameras are going to be able to show this, but this cake apparently is for Evelyn, who is She's about to put to bed, by the way.
Oh.
Just about to. I think she's a few weeks away. And Alice did, make something for us who have been working over Christmas to appreciate us. Should I let you give a speech?
No. Speech is not here. But just to contribute on the conversation,
yes,
I would go for job creation.
Yes.
That's the solution.
It's the solution.
Job creation. Yeah.
And our unemployment levels are so high, so we're going to eat cake. We're waiting for Evelyn to get here, but she's taking quite some time. I don't know if my director is going to let me wait for her, but Evelyn, if you're there, please come over here so we can eat cake. But hey, this is cake that has been made by Alice, who is the founder for Black Forest House. As we wind down 2016, I'm sure many of us would like to get to better days in 2017. I can't wait. Honestly,
sure.
I can't wait for 2017.
I know.
So, yes, there she goes. Evelyn has finally arrived. Her and her peoples. Evelyn, come over here.
Can I give you a test?
Come over here. Yes, sure. Why
So
not?
which cake
Why
do you
not?
think this is?
I think it is a Black Forest. White Forest? What cake do you think it is?
Black Forest?
Because it has some chocolate over here at the top.
And the cream is whipping cream.
Whipping cream.
Yes,
It
fresh
doesn't make
whipping cream.
People whip, no?
No.
Okay. All right. You want to say something? The cake is yours.
Yes.
All right. Evelyn is our producer here at KTN, and we thought, hey, why not make cake for the entire business team and the technical team as well? So we wish you all a happy holiday and I think Happy New Year too, right?
Happy New Year.
Yeah, and a Happy New Year. So we're going to eat
May
cake.
God bless you.
Where's the knife?
Yeah, sure.
You didn't bring a knife for us.
Bring it.
All right. So we're just going to present the cake to the lovely lady and her generation. All right. Thank you all for watching. We do appreciate. Coming up next is Worldview.